So, over the last week or two, I have fallen down a very deep hole, and the only way I could get out was to build a ladder out of the books that I bought while I was in there. I spent quite a lot of time browsing the World of Books website, just with some filters on, looking for science fiction hardbacks and just kind of scrolling through and seeing what I could find. So I ordered a ton, and those will be coming in a different haul video next week maybe. But as is always the way with World of Books, they fuck something up. And 5 of the books that they sent me, is it 5? 2, 6, maybe 7 of the books that they sent me that were listed as hardbacks were in fact paperbacks. And some of them I didn't pay any money for because they were sort of on the buy 3 get 1 get the 4th for nothing sort of thing, and so it was a bit hard to get too emotional about it. And actually a couple of them, as you'll see, are really nice copies, so I could send them back and get a refund, but honestly I can't be bothered, so I'm going to keep them. So there's Bruce Sterling, Crystal Express. I should have guessed that it wasn't a hardback because it was only £3 something, but it's got a little, unfortunately, it's got a little tear. I think that's a tear, or some of the covers peeled off rather than a bit of sticker revenue. I don't want to pick away at it too much in case I start removing. It's a shame because aside from the gift aid sticker on the back, it's in pretty good condition. So I think it's a first edition paperback. One of his earlier books, first published in 1990 by Legend, and this edition in paperback, Legend paperback, 1991. Consistently enthralling storytelling. It's actually a collection of short stories. Showcases a dazzling talent from global green politics to new technology. Sterling writes astonishing futures that you believe will happen. So that's pretty cool. And then I also got Quarantine by Greg Egan. Again, I was expecting this to be a hardback. It isn't. I do already have a copy of this, but in the SF Masterworks edition. This is, I think I'm right in saying, a first edition paperback from 1992. Yep, yes it is. So, okay, it's not hardback, but it is a first edition paperback. It's mostly, certainly the front cover is in really good condition. There is some creasing on the spine, but and that one did cost me £0 and 0 pence. Greg Bear, Infinity Concerto. I think I had this book at one point in the past and sold it for pennies in my great de-hauling or unhauling that I did 30 odd years ago. It's not in fantastic condition. I don't think I've ever read it actually. Well, actually, it's. Having said it's not in fantastic condition, by that I mean it's not mint. It's actually, I would think, very good. It does have some not terribly noticeable creasing on the spine, but otherwise it's in good nick. John Brunner, Crucible of Time, which again I thought was going to be a paperback. A hardback. It isn't. Life can be just too unpredictable, and so it became for the people of a doomed world crawling across the rubble-strewn arm of a spiral galaxy. Ice ages, tropical heat waves, peaks of radiation, mutations, meteor showers, till the only hope of long-term survival was to abandon the planet and get out. But how? So it's a novel. It was published in 1982 in 2 parts, and I think the early parts of this were previously published as short stories, so I don't know if it's a fix-up so much as an expansion, and this was first published in 1994, and this is a first edition, although albeit a bit tatty. So the 2 that I really like the look of when I saw them, and they are in really good condition. They're not especially vintage. I think they're from, I'm aware I teased you with that cover there. I'll bring it back again in a second. Back from 1989. I think the other one's maybe 1990. Off Planet by Clifford D Simak. He's been promoted to only having his surname on the cover, which they obviously do to emphasise their sort of level of mastery, along with the likes of Asimov and Aldous. So Simak, he's like a pop star. He's dropped his other names. But I don't know what the hell's going on with that image. It's the torso has got like measles. I don't know if you can see the spots on there, and the head just has, I'm not sure if that's an eye or a mouth or what the hell it is, but it's a very peculiar looking picture. The spine is it's in pristine condition, and what I'm left wondering now, and the other one that I've got here is in the same livery, is how many others are there in this livery and where can I get them, because I really like them. So as I said, Enchanted Pilgrimage is the same look and feel, same Simak with the same iconography there for the A. And what's going on here? So this is more like fantasy. So their quest was to find the elders, but hellhounds, witchcraft, and harpies no less barred their way. From the theft of a manuscript in a fusty library, an amazing tale develops. Blah, 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 blah. So Enchanted Pilgrimage is like no other fantasy novel, allegedly. A stunning adventure set in an alternative universe where myths still walk the earth. And again, it is in tip-top mint condition. Again, it's not ancient. It's from 1990. Originally published in 1976 by the often mispronounced Sidgwick and Jackson. Among my recent browsings on Tinterweb was on eBay. I was kind of looking for John Wyndham books just to see if I could find any to plug the holes in the sets that I'm looking to finish. And I found, this is probably not a good thing, so at the moment I have 3 John Wyndham sets in various states of completion, 2 getting to the point where I'm almost done, and then another one with 3 or 4 books in it. So the sensible thing to do would be to start a 4th, right? So these were sold as a set of 7. I think there are another 2 or 3 available in the same livery of John Wyndham books, and these are from the recent past, so sort of 2008. I think these were first reissued, and they are all Brian Cronin covers. So this is Midwich Cuckoos. So they came as a set of 7 for £10 plus postage. So by the time I paid £4 for postage, they were effectively £2 each, which for books which are essentially in as new condition, you know, is not bad. So that's The Seeds of Time. That's a short story collection, I think. Yep. And then Chucky. This is a slightly morose looking young man. I guess that will happen to you if you've got an imaginary alien friend. Or is it imaginary? And then we've got Trouble with Lichen. She looks like she's got a lichen eye mask on. I'm really liking her eye mask. See what I did there? That's Day of the Triffids. Probably his best known book. These are all in as new condition. And then The Chrysalids. John Wyndham. That's one of my favourite Wyndham books. Really like it. Although I'm due a reread. I haven't read it for a long time. And then Crack and Wakes, which I still haven't read. I've now got, I think, 4 copies of it, so I really should. So those are a nice set. Really rather nice. In the Penguin, it's the first time they reissued them for quite some time, and I think that's the most recent one. So I just have to look out for the other 2 or 3. I haven't done the research to check if there are in fact 2 or 3. I think there are. This set of 3 Michael Moorcocks. It's kind of schlocky fantasy. The Chronicles of Count Brass, but I bought it because it's they're all in really good condition, and it's in a box set, which is a slipcase, which is also in really good condition, and I therefore couldn't resist it. Don't see many of those. And because it's in a box set, the books themselves have been protected, and they're actually in really good condition. So let's see which way around do they go. So that's the first one, Count Brass. And then the second one, Champion of Garethorn, The Quest for Tanalorn. The books themselves are in mint condition, I would say, and the cover, the slipcase, the doodah that they go in is still really tight. It's quite hard to get the books in because it's a snug fit. £4.99 that cost me, can't be bad. Then I found this in Henley, I think, in one of the charity shops there, JG Ballard Super Can, which has quite a leery cover on the back. I don't think, well, you could say this about many of JG Ballard's works in my opinion. This is not science fiction, I don't think, but I've got it for completeness. And then we've got a few more Pan lozenge books here. A. Van Vogt, the let me get this right, Anarchistic Colossus. In a future Earthworld, anarchy has become a way of life, yet the anarchy is of a strange variety, controlled by the mysterious Curlian computers. Enter a race of alien beings who look on the conquest of Earth as the entertaining end product of some extraordinary war game. A remarkable new piece of imaginary writing from one of the indisputably classic creators of science fiction. I've got so many blooming A. Van Vogt books, and I haven't read a single one of them, so I really must get down with that. That's a pretty cool cover, and it's got the tidy pan lozenge title and author blocks. And then we've got Bob Shaw, A Wreath of Stars, which is in pretty good condition, apart from the fact that this either is a printing error and the title of the book is just completely not there, or it's faded to the point where it's unreadable. It should be there. And I can't see any trace of it at all. It's like it's disappeared. Maybe. No, I don't. I would say it's missing. I don't think it was ever there, or it's faded so completely that it's no longer visible. Yeah. So A Wreath of Stars. Then we've got Brian Stableford, The Fenris Device. So this is I didn't really notice this, but it's the 5th Hooded Swan adventure. So the other 4 are also available, I think, in this livery, the pan lozenge, so-called pan lozenge livery, Brian Stableford. Yes, so the others, Halcyon Drift, Rhapsody in Black, Promised Land, The Paradise Game, and Swan Song, are, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I wonder. Maybe they aren't all available in this livery. I don't know. They'll turn up. I'll find out. And then the other 2 that I've got in this lot today is that's the second one. Let's do this one first. Again, Dangerous Visions. So that's the second of his short story anthologies that Harlan Ellison edited, and it's published in 2 parts. So it's book 1 is the first part of the second. So Dangerous Visions was the first collection or anthology, and this is the second one, part 1 of it. It's a little bit faded on the cover, but the spine's pretty tight, and the back has something weird going on, like it's been next to something that's left an imprint on the book. So I don't think that's going to polish out, unfortunately. And then I also got, again, Dangerous Visions book 2, which has got a jazzier cover on it, I think. And this one has a yellow spine and a yellow back. So I wonder if this one also at one point had a yellow spine and it's just faded. I don't know. And the back of this one's yellow too. But those were in not bad condition, maybe good to very good. But so there's in that bunch of vintage books, there's quite a few pans. On one of my World of Books delves, I found this Before Mars, which is an as new copy of Emma Newman's Before Mars. It's the 4th in the series, or little set of books that she has that are loosely set in the same universe. I had the other 3, so that completes the 4. I think I paid a £5 for this, but it's effectively new. So for a book that's got a cover price of £9. And then I found it's like waiting for buses. You get one and then another one comes along. So a couple of weeks ago I got, what's it called? All Clear by Connie Willis, and this is another book of hers, Blackout, which is, I think, involves some of the same characters. They're time travellers. Yes, Mr. Dunworthy's time travel now is a chaotic place, sending scores of historians to the Crusades, to Rome, and to World War II. So this one is World War II. No amount of study could have prepared them for the reality of daily life in World War II. It's not just the incessant air raids, blackouts, and frightful rations. The once reliable mechanics of time travel are showing significant glitches, and it's not long before the historians begin to question their most firmly held belief that no historian can ever change the past. I'm not sure what order. Well, I can find out. So Blackout came first, then All Clear. So I need to read this one first, and then the other one. Then it's John Varley, Demon. This is the 3rd book in a series, and of the epic Gaian trilogy. So I have Titan and Wizard, which are the first 2, down on a shelf there somewhere in paperback. So this will go with it. This looks like the same cover artist that did the covers for Ujima Flip, the Thomas Covenant books by Stephen Donaldson. Looks very similar. Is it the same publisher? Yeah, it's the same publisher, Futura. So it could very well be the same artist. Looks very similar. And then we've got Slaughterhouse V. This is a vintage kind of issue with the red spine. Quite a nice copy. So now I have 2, one from the mid-70s, and this one is from 2000, which, although it sounds weird, it's nearly 24 years old, and it's in considering his age, it's in pretty near perfect condition. What have we got? So as a late in Brian Aldiss' career collaboration, a bit like Arthur C. Clarke did with Stephen Baxter, I think. Brian Aldiss in collaboration with Roger Penrose. I'm not sure who he is. Let's have a look. Does it say? I think he might be a scientist. So White Mars marks a unique collaboration between the novelist and science fiction writer Brian Aldiss and the distinguished mathematician and scientist Sir Roger Penrose. I thought I'd recognise the name. This startling and authoritative book shows how a new society could be built, and in doing so producing a beautiful and grim new myth. And so I thought initially it's short, so I don't know if it's short stories or little vignettes. So the alternative title on the inside is White Mars or The Mind Set Free, a 21st Century Utopia. So I don't know, we'll see how that goes. Sounds a little bit Kim Stanley Robinson to me, we'll see. That's in very good condition. So when was that published? 1999, it's the first edition. And then a little bit of a nostalgia trip. I saw this on the shelf in a charity shop somewhere, I can't remember where. I had all of these. So I read a lot of David Eddings back in the day in these editions. So this is book 3 of the Malorian, which is the second series that comes after the Bulgariad. And little old early teen me was obsessed with these for a while. This is the same, as I say, the same edition that I had, and they were among the books that I flogged off for no money at all. So this was as a reprint in 1990. So I would have had this when it was first sold, I think. So that would have been 1988. Very nice. It's got a tiny kind of defect, a little bit of kind of creasing, or where the covers come away a little bit, I don't know, but otherwise it's been pretty good. So now of course I have to look for the others of this series, so the other 4 of the Malorian, and also, or is it Malorian, whichever. And I need to look out for the Bulgariad. I could just go online and buy them all, and I might, but where's the fun in that? Contact by Carl Sagan. I think I've read this. I've certainly seen the movie a few times. And this one is, I don't think, a first edition. No, certainly not. First published in the mid-80s. This is a reprint from 2007. I'll be intrigued to find out, actually, when I eventually get around to reading it, how closely the movie follows the book. So, that's it. Last of the pile today. I have another haul to do that I'll do next week of all the hardbacks that I bought when I fell down that deep hole book browsing on the interweb. So I'll do that next week. I'm going to try, probably fail, to reduce my book buying by about half. So I should be reducing to about 1 book haul video a month. And that's simply because I've run out of shelf space. I'm going to have to stuff these in somehow. There is a bit of wall space in my lair here where I could fit some shelves. If I can negotiate the moving of the filing cabinet that lives in the corner of the office here somewhere else in the house. But otherwise I'm running out. I could maybe fit 1 more bookcase's worth of shelves in here. So I'm going to have to start being a bit less of a magpie with science fiction books and a bit more discerning. We'll see how I get on with that. Or I need one of the kids to move out so that I can occupy their room as a library. Maybe that's plan A rather than plan B. Anyway, we're done. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.